big scary bunny. Look at that face. Hi, I'm George the Antique Nomad. Come with me as I wander the country in search of valuable vintage, amazing antiques, and cool collectibles. We'll buy, sell, and trade at antique malls, shops, and shows, estate sales, flea markets, thrift stores, anywhere people go to find really interesting things that just aren't made anymore. So come on, let's go! Well, behind me looks like a whole lot of fun. I love roller coasters, and there's a neat one back there, but that's not what I'm here for. I am here at the west wing of the gigantic Louisville Convention Center. They do a Christmas show that fills like half of this place. And the same people do this on Memorial Day, Labor Day, and the big one on New Year's weekend, apparently, which is a big flea market, and with it, an antique and vintage show. So I think there's supposed to be about 150 vintage dealers and maybe 500 that are doing the flea market. So we'll see what that looks like. There could be real bargains, it could be like thrift shopping, it could be an antique show. It sounds like it's a little of both. Now I like this little oil lamp. This is a miniature oil lamp from the Victorian period. It is actually Victorian. It's not one of the 1960s ones. There were a lot of floral patterns. They were fairly simply decorated. $40 is a pretty good price. This is nice too with the thumbprints, and it's $75.
Those are interesting.
Yeah, I like those too.
Only $18.
Yeah, I'm not sure who made them. They seem studio and fairly contemporary, but perhaps European, maybe for Rosenthal or one of those. In fact, I thought for a minute I saw, nope, I don't see a mark. That will glow, of course.
This will glow.
Right, that's
interesting
Burmese.
with the cypress.
And then next to it, this is Mary Gregory, and if it's colored in the face, if it's pink rather than white, that usually means it's European rather than American, and people make a small distinction for that. This is probably, you know, later 20th century, but it's nice. This is an original one, or an earlier one that started in the Victorian era, and it was a style of painting named after a woman artist. Fenton had these, and these were done in the 50s when they were doing the other paint colors at first. But this is more of what they call clam broth, because like the clam broth, it's sort of translucent. You can see through it, but it's also a color. And that started in the Victorian era, so that was another thing that they brought back. There's Horseshoe Fall from the island, and yeah, okay, I look for things that are natural disasters. That's the ones I collect. It may sound strange, but I got started on it with the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, and the pictures were just so interesting, and it just sort of went from there. So this is a Florida souvenir. It's a little bit odd. These were made in Japan, of course, in the early 60s, and they're very lightweight and flimsy and low quality, and the fact that any of them survived is amazing, but they're cute now. They'd probably sell down there, but I'm not headed there right now.
Is this Fiesta? Is that old Fiesta?
That's newer colors. I like all their colors, honestly. I think they've just done a great job keeping that line going all these years, and they've made it nice for the collectors by not destroying the value by recreating old stuff. The one on the right is older, this miniature. I like these, the little miniature with the wings up. Oh,
okay.
I should send this to Jeffrey. He keeps talking about how he wants the flamingo with the wings up. I don't think he's thinking it'll be 2 inches tall, though.
That would be funny.
I think I'm getting it. But this shows that there is an area in here that really is, you know, flea market. So that's cool, because you might find something really good for cheap. This is a voltmeter. Some people like this old stuff. That's probably 1930s. Just for display, of course. I mean, you could use it, but no one does.
What's the issue?
Well, I'm going to show the scratches and why I didn't get it. In the 1930s, they both had pottery divisions, like teachers, but the students also made stuff that they sold, and this is one of those things. That rocket is cool. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of things in here that are kind of interesting.
Yeah,
He's got some fountain
these small
pens.
things are a good deal.
Well, and they're easy to ship for those of you who mainly deal online, and they are easy for tourists to take for those of you who sell in tourist locations or at shows. So yeah, there's a lot to be said for little things. And you can get a lot of value in a small space, and as a dealer that helps because, you know, setting up and taking down at shows is time consuming. So if you can put out one case and it's got, you know, maybe $1,000 worth of stuff in it, as opposed to 2 shelves worth that have $100.
Here's
it's
something
a
annoying
different thing.
that you would like.
Oh yes.
So what has caught your eye?
Oh, I like the Coca-Cola clock.
Oh yeah,
It's an original one.
with the darker dial, or face.
Yeah, and wow. Political buttons by the score. There's probably a few in there that are worth buying, but I don't know that I want to spend the time since time is limited going through. Again, I'm really looking for some better stuff if I can find it.
How about
Well, this is a political collectible you don't see often, and they have it kind of hidden because
Where's
he
the
was
microphone?
controversial. It's got a crack, but that's George Wallace. And yes, they made an alarm clock of him, and it's only $20 because of the crack. If you could replace that, it's probably worth about $50 at the political collectible show.
Okay.
I just don't know where I would get another face for it, though. Yeah, it is kind of neat when they're all together.
150.
Yeah, well, that's a nice one. And you know, with the popularity of swung bases, these original ones from the 1910s are more popular than they've been in a long time. So that's neat, which is getting people to notice carnival glass, which is also nice because carnival glass is beautiful stuff. And it had sort of fallen out of favor with collectors. And now it seems like it's coming back because of the interest in glass, especially that has interesting color
That is
characteristics.
interesting. The
Yeah.
white.
Yeah, it's clear with the carnival on it, so it's more like an onion skin, and you don't see that all that often. And then this one, I wish I knew more about. It's priced at $800, and I'm not sure what the thing is.
This would not be a bonus element because I can't read that because it's blowing out, but that is $900 for those.
Those are gorgeous. Yeah, those would have been on some very, very fancy house. The detailing on here is a little inspecific though, so I do believe these might be 20th century.
This is what?
It's a hanging basket and it's upside down. Sample of a bathtub,
yeah.
and avocado green or sage or some early 60s thing.
Oregano.
Very nice hair comb here too.
Wait, how you doing?
Yeah, I have not seen one with a clock set in it. I'm not sure if I've ever seen one with a clock set in it, honestly.
Good. It's so funny. I know I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, I always like that stuff, but that is just different than anything I've ever seen from them.
It's a rare one, actually. Though. Much simpler things.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
buying small diamond earrings, not gigantic.
It's not as much about ostentation
I
anymore,
came
yeah.
here with 29 Art Deco diamond brooches one New Year's.
Uh-huh.
And at those pace, I sold out before New Year's Eve.
Well, I believe
Because
that.
everybody wanted, you know, and I bet it was that these were the people that wore only real.
That is a very nice one with the nude.
This here.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good piece. And I'm sorry, you said how much?
I'll sell for $350.
$350. Very tempting. I'm actually going to buy a couple of these knives. Now, these are USA made. They're new old stock from about 1982 when the World's Fair
Oh yeah.
happened.
Knoxville.
And they're still getting distributed, but they're just about out of them at this point, and people are starting to collect that World's Fair. And then one of them is Railroad, so I'll at least get those, and I'll probably get the one with the can opener because I've sold that every time I've had it. It's gigantic. And it would have had a huge pattern shade to match.
$5.
Yeah, but it needs a gigantic shade that I don't possess. These are very nice smoking stands, and they're priced about right if they work, which it looks like that one's been rewired. So at $160, that's a good deal.
So we're over here now at the smoking stand.
Yeah, and they've been rewired and have everything, so they're worth the money.
Oh yeah, here's some chalkware.
Yeah, I like her. She's cute. That's funny. I've never seen that piece.
Yeah, the Russian Santa.
$65. A nut dispenser? That's pretty fun. This is neat.
Is that that flock stuff, or no? It's like
It's ceramic with a flocking applied.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and this seems that it would be a lamp, but it doesn't seem like it's turning, but it's really a neat piece. Oh, that's cute. I'm sure that was a homemade job, but she's very sweet. I like that. I noticed he's got Anna Lee dolls, but he also has a color wheel.
Yes, I saw the color wheel. Is that a good price?
Well, nowadays that's about what they run. And he has a very big, scary bunny.
Is that a big scary bunny?
I think so. Look at that face.
And we have another one of these.
Oh yes. Again, though, look at the printing. That one's newer. Now, I think these are really pretty and really, in some ways, underrated. They're check glass. They're 1930s. Jocelyn and Michael Todd, they'd be worth something where they
Oh,
are.
these things?
No, the Pennsylvania glasses.
Oh.
They're $2 a piece here. They're probably $8 or $10 a piece in Pennsylvania. These are cool. Chicken costume. Wow, how cool with Halloween coming. This
That
is great.
is a very bizarre doll.
It's a bed doll. They would actually sit them up on beds. Apparently that was how you collected them.
That thing?
Yep.
Those are $350 and $250. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you see
this
the
one is
Yosemite
great. I love
glaze.
this.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That is a gorgeous piece of Zolnay. That's worth every single penny.
Yeah, but where does it say that on here? Oh, wait.
It's in the
Got it.
top
And,
left.
oh, I was
Yes.
looking at the signature. Yeah.
Yeah, they're lovely pieces. He's got a lot of cool stuff. This little bud vase here is neat.
Oh, look. Look here.
Oh, yes, my mother likes that.
Yeah, these are neat too, but it's one of them's got a chip. But these are real. I like these.
Those are great. Those are rookwood, and they're really good. Actually, if you turn them this way, we've got to be careful. Yeah, it's unfortunate that happens, but the Roman numerals tell you the date that the mold
29,
was.
I think.
That's the date the mold came out for that particular piece. Yeah. Those. No, that's very nice. And the big sign. This is a great piece too.
This is 97.
Yeah, this would have been from the Collectors Society, I'm sure. Now, these look like a company called Nicodemus.
These here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked them up. I didn't see.
Yes, they are Nicodemus. See the red?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
He was an art pottery instructor at Columbus, at Ohio State University, and then he went off, I think he and his wife, and started making things. And they're very studied, and they have that variegated brown glaze, so that's something to look for. They also did a Christmas card
there.
line. Oh, yeah, Gouda. Yeah, see, well, Randall's he's got great stuff. These
like
are
the
sheer
fish.
water. This is more sheer water. Now, he's a pro, and he's going to know what he's got, so whether it's anything I would buy is another question, but he does have some neat stuff, and I am going to ask.
North Dakota.
Yeah, it's University of North Dakota. It's called UND pottery.
And then this has the
And then
artist
this is the
signature.
artist signature.
Yeah, she was one of the main ones behind it. I just saw a North Dakota School of Mines piece, and now here you've got University of North Dakota.
Yeah.
That's great to be able to actually show both of those. That's very cool. And, you know, I haven't seen pieces of this in a long time.
This is a dated Van Briggle piece.
Oh, that's an old one.
Yeah, it's dated 1915.
Oh, wow.
And it does have
That's
a tight
early.
crack in the bottom, but
Yeah, but that's great with that early
Yeah.
date on it.
So that's Van Briggle.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is Van
early
Briggle.
days when they were just...
I saw the piece dated 1904 on Thursday.
This is a very, very rare artist from California named Margaret Killen. And this piece, you notice his price on it is $800. She did all this hand-painted, hand-thrown, had a small studio. She's very highly regarded amongst the California modernists. And I knew someone who found 3 pieces for $15 each in a thrift store because the thrift store thought it was new and they couldn't read the name. So that's definitely something to know.
How are you?
Just fine, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you. Well, look at this. What is this?
It's asparagus.
Oh, is that right? And how do I know that's true?
He's right, actually. I've seen him before, but the one I'm not sure about is what the purpose of this thing with the slots on the side is.
Spoon.
Peas.
Or macaroni. That one's the macaroni. The peas made different.
Very nicely displayed.
Yes, I like the spider. And I like the garnet. Garnets are really lovely.
This is the moment of, I guess, a thumbnail.
I guess. Or maybe this is the part where I say, and I can say to everybody, thank you for joining us. And please check out all of the social media.
Well, we're not stopping this.
And all of that good stuff.
Yeah, we're still
and
streaming.
you can, you know, go to the links and find out where all that is, and find out about membership benefits and all the other good stuff we do on the channel. So let's go back to shopping around, though. Okay, let's see. And that actually was a fun booth that I should at least pan because they have a ton of old toys and neat stuff. There actually are some great things here.
The old Desta app.
This is one of my favorites right here.
It's a chow.
That striped one.
Not that.
Is that David Cassidy?
No.
You sure? I like the Olympic team. Proud sponsor. 84 Olympics have been long enough that that's pretty collectible. And all of these mirrors are starting to be collectible too. Treasure craft.
Oh my. Look at these salt and pepper shakers.
Okay, well there's one right there.
Oh, the turkey.
Yep, the turkey and the roasting pan.
Treasure craft.
A lot of these are Japanese. I like this one with Niagara Falls. I haven't seen that before, where a piece of the falls come out. The binoculars and the case. And the outhouse and the Sears catalog, yes. Well, it just says catalog. I don't think it specifically says Sears. I always like the long skinny ones, and they're about $35 each set, which is about what they run nowadays.
35 each for these, yeah.
Yeah, for the... They're almost a foot long, I think. They've redone the upholstery so that these are all fresh and ready to go. I was across from a dealer who had a bunch of this stuff at New Harmony. That's where I first saw them because they had 3 sets there and they sold all.
Dr. Leopard.
That's why it's only $65, is because it's a little worn off. Motel office, that looks like the Bates Motel sign. That'd be good for Halloween. That spice rack has its very, very original paint on it, and that's why it's priced at $185. Yeah, because that is old paint.
Fantastic.
It actually is. I like that they turned it into a lamp, and that, if I had a shade, I would probably buy that because it's an old silver clarinet and a musician would have fun with that. Oh yes, the ride around. I think this was by Ohio Art. I think this was one of their sort of knockoffs. John Perry. Oh, I saw you opening Frederick Remington, and yeah, Frederick Remington is very collectible. This seems to be in poor condition.
I'm not going to touch that.
Well, I'm going to try to be very gentle with it, but
Look at these.
he did some really great stuff. Plateau mirror with the stars. I wonder how much that is.
Oh, this?
Yes.
It's got a scratch. You're not going to like it.
Well, I'm a little more forgiving on these because they're usually used for jewelry or to set other things on. So I'm going to have to see who the owner of this is if I can.
Wait, now, what about that? You're going to like that thing.
It's cute, but she's a reproduction.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah. Even though she looks worn, it's actually worn deliberately to make it look that way. The original ones were a shiny porcelain. Metal, brass, and copper music boxes. Museum price between about $8 and $20, and because of the success of Jouret coming back as a collectible, the Jouret metal wall sculptures, all the other stuff done like that is starting to come back too. And this is a very exaggerated Blanco vase.
They did a good job, so.
I think they did. I like it. And then a bunch of this thermoset plastic. The colors are so much fun on all that. We do a YouTube vlog, I'm sorry. I should have asked. I
okay.
realize I'm talking to people in front of you, and it's not the most polite thing to do. How much is the bangle? Oh, look in there, see the thing with the candles?
Yes.
Yeah, they
candle.
would make glass cake trays with candle rings, and in some cases even
Right
just
there.
the ring. Back, hips, knees, and feet. You know, after standing on concrete all day, that's probably a pretty smart thing to have in here.
So, what's your opinion?
I like it. I mean, it was definitely worth shopping, and I'm sure there was more, and I'm sure there was more in the flea market part too. Thanks for joining me again in the fun and fascinating antique community, here where online meets the real world. Please click the subscribe button below, click the bell to be notified when new videos upload, leave a comment below, and hit thumbs up to like this video. Links to our online social media daily posts and our items for sale are in the description. This is George at the Antique Nomad. Bye for now.